Now live here on the Fight Day set is the man that needs to respond to that. He's going to be fighting whoever walks away with the belt tonight in the main event. The #1 contender to the UFC light heavyweight title, Sugar Rashad Evans. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm a little bit mad. You have outdressed me, sir. Look at this suit.
Hey,
look at Rashad Evans' suit. He's got 3 pieces on. I can't compete.
It's just, I'm just trying to keep it clean a little bit. That's all.
Let's talk about what Jon Jones just said here on Fight Day. He said the reason why people think he's cocky is because you told them that he was cocky.
I wish I had that kind of power.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell him a lot more.
Tell us how you really feel about Jon Jones.
Nah, I mean, he is cocky.
Yeah.
If you listen to him speak, you know he's cocky. Some of the things he says, you like, it's very arrogant, you know, and it goes beyond just being confident. It's just being kind of just cocky.
At what point did that start? Because a lot of people were saying that he was a really humble guy just a few short months ago. Now he's being pinned as a really arrogant champion.
People didn't really know Jon Jones. And
he's always been that way.
He's always been that way. Always been that way. And people are going to learn a little bit more about Jon the more he's been in the sport. I think Jon's not real with people who he really is. You know, he just kind of, he's fake.
Well, you've had some beef with the other person in the main event tonight, Rampage Jackson, as well. Who do you dislike more?
Jon, by miles.
Why?
Wait, because he's fake.
Yeah.
Like, at least I can like Rampage because Rampage is real.
Yeah.
You know, he's a real person, and he comes across as you see what you get, and he'll keep it real. He'll tell you the same thing. He'll say behind your back. Jon is shady, fake.
There's been a lot of talk about Jon Jones or Jon Jones' management team placing a spy in Rampage's camp. Do you believe any of that?
Yeah, I heard it was true. I heard it was confirmed true. And just outside of the Rampage camp, I heard somebody, was in there and they were, spying. They were spying, but it wasn't so much Jon Jones. It was more of his manager, Malky Cowell.
Now, it's interesting that you call out his manager because his manager is starting to get a lot of heat now from people as well because Jon Jones is this champion who's a really marketable, seemingly likable guy, and then he's got this manager that, I don't know, a lot of people say he's misrepresenting Jon Jones.
I mean, he's a used car salesman. That's what he is.
Wow.
Really fast talking.
Didn't he used to be your manager?
Yeah,
What?
He was part of the team.
He was part of the team.
Listen, I don't like that dude. I never liked him. Never liked him.
You say he's a used car salesman.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
That's slick talking. And, for your money, you can get this right here. But, just talking real fast. I don't like when people talk to me too fast. I don't like it.
So you and Jon Jones, did you consider yourself friends at one point?
Yeah, I consider them friends. I liked him at one point. But, I seen signs of his true character coming out, back in the day. He was very, very envious. He wanted to beat me.
Well, you guys have trained together. Is it true that in training you used to school him at wrestling?
I used to school him a lot more than just wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I used to
So you're confident if he wins this fight tonight, is this an easy fight for you?
No, there's no such thing as an easy fight. Let's grant it. The kid is tough. The kid he's amazing, to be honest. He does a lot of good things, and he's pretty much fearless. But, one reason why he does all the things he does and all the trickery and all that stuff because he is fearless. Once he loses that fear, he won't do all the crazy stuff no more.
Now, Rampage Jackson is somebody that you've, again, minced words with in the past. Would you say that he's got a real legitimate shot at beating Jon Jones tonight? Because if you look at the Vegas odds, he's a 5-to-1 underdog.
If you're in Vegas, you better bet.
Yeah.
Because I went to the Muscle Farm gym the other day, and I got a glimpse of Rampage's gym and what he's been doing, and then I seen Rampage and I was like, dang, this is a different dude. He's back with the Wolf's Lair, and those guys really made him train hard. Because that's one thing I've always said about Rampage is my biggest knock on him, besides the fact that he always talked too much, was that he never trained hard. He didn't train hard enough,
Right.
But he's with the Wolf's Lair, and those guys know how to motivate him and get him to train the proper way.
So Rampage wins tonight how?
I think he catches him with one of those power punches, But, he's been working on a lot of things in this game. He's been working on his wrestling a lot. And, I guess he's been working on his ground, too. So we might see a well-rounded attack from Rampage.
You fought Rampage before. Does he hit as hard as everyone says that he hits?
Oh, that boy hit hard. But you know what? I slipped. I slipped.
So you didn't get knocked down?
Nah,
I
slipped, man. I slipped. You see, it was my corner, right? So, that's where water and stuff was. That's what started.
That's what it was. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, it's slippery over there.
I was slipping. Slipping.
So you did the fan question and answer session yesterday, and I had somebody tell me, I wasn't fortunate enough to be at it, but I had somebody tell me that your mom gives you a lot of advice before your fights, true or not true?
Always. My mom always called me and be like, Rashad, I'm going to get this call in before things get a little crazy. Now, Rashad, what you need to do here is you need to go at Tito Ortiz, Rashad, because he expects you to be the same person he was last time you fought him. But don't show him everything, Rashad, because you're going to have to fight the winner, Rampage or Jon Jones. And I was like, she got a good point.
Pretty good advice.
Yeah, it was pretty good advice.
That fight with Tito Ortiz, it was a risky fight for you because, again, you got that #1 contender status hanging in the balance. Did you find that to be a tough fight because they gave you fight of the night?
Nah. I mean, it's always every fight is always a tough fight in different reasons, you know. But nah, it wasn't a tough fight just because of trying to save a #1 contender status. You know, the thing about it is this: we all got to get in there and we all got to fight and mix it up. So I'm not gonna try to protect being a #1 contender no more. What it is, what it is. You know, when they call me and tell me I got to fight somebody, that's what I'm gonna do.
They laid it out for you a couple of months ago. You really laid it out, and you said, you know, I'm not going to do that anymore because we've seen what happens, and there was a lot of negative things that came as a result of you kind of saying, I'm going to hang back and wait for that title shot.
Right.
Do you think, now that you're looking at this whole picture, that things have played out about as well as they could have?
Yeah, I think they played out as well as they could have. You know, my mindset of the reason why I didn't want to take the fight last time was, you know, I had a lot of things going on, and it wasn't right for me then to take those fights. But now I'm in a point where I was like, man, I missed a whole year of the sport, and I really love the fight. So I was like, when it came down to it, I really hurt myself.
And last thing for you, there was a long time there that you and Jon Jones said that you wouldn't fight each other because you both trained at Greg Jackson's camp. Now at UFC 137, we've got George St. Pierre and we've got Carlos Condit, two Jackson guys as well that are going to go at it. Do you think that there's enough common ground between those two to really matter, or do you think that there's been a divide between those two guys so that whole teammate thing doesn't really count?
You know, I only think I've seen them train together maybe like 2 or 3 times when George came out to Albuquerque. But George is really conscious of not really training with nobody his weight when he came to Albuquerque. But Greg, he does the same thing. He makes his bed and he's like, oh, I'm not going to have anything to do with it. I'm just going to walk away. You don't bring guys in the same weight class that are tough fighters and then when they get ready to fight, you walk away from it. You know, you gotta choose your side. You can't just always put your stamp on everybody. Say, okay, this is a Jackson fighter. This is a Jackson fighter. It's not a factory. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stand behind your fighters. You gotta make a choice. You know, you can't have 2 top weight guys in the same weight class. It's not like that anymore. But that's Greg's problem. Greg thinks that, you know, he just want to be coach of the year.
So you're not a fan of Greg Jackson anymore?
I mean, I always got love for Greg, but it is. I mean, the truth is the truth. Proof is in the pudding. How do you do that? What, twice already, 3 times, whatever? How many times? I mean, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna be the last time it's gonna happen because he has like 4 or 5 guys at 155. Why do you keep doing it? I don't even understand. It just doesn't make any sense. But then when they have to fight each other, he's gonna say, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna walk away and not have anything to do with it. Wash my hands of the whole situation."
And how long until the cast comes off for you?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Rashad Evans, man, always great to have you on the show.
Man, it's good to be on the show, but it's hot out here.
It's a little warm for Denver, right?
It's a little warm for
Sweating.
Denver.
You're wearing 3 pieces.
Man, I know.
It's
I'm going to take one piece off.